This is the project we're going to do today. It's a repeat of a project that was previously done, and I'll put a link to the original video down in the comments. I wanted to repeat my Cruising Under a Full Moon project. This time I'm stamping on some chrome coat glossy paper. Last time I had just stamped it on some laser printer paper, and this time I wanted to use the better chrome coat paper. And I couldn't quite get the front of the cruise ship, so I put the foam back in so that I could get the pointy part of that cruise ship. Now I'm putting a mask down for the horizon line and also putting a mask for the moon, and I'm using some Distress Picket Fence around the moon, and then I'm using some Pumice Stone and now Hickory Smoke. All these are distress inks, working from the outside in, keeping that center region where the moon is white. Now I'm using black soot. So just working from the outside in, and I want the outside edges to be darker than the center. And then keeping the center white. And just putting on more layers to get it darker and darker. And now I'm using a very long, slender blending brush to bring some of the darker colors in, and I masked the cruise ship. I've changed the location of the mask at the horizon, and I'll start working on the water. And right now we're using some Pumice Stone, and then picket fences for the center where you get the reflection of the moon in the water. And then still working on Pumice Stone. And now I'm going to start working on Hickory Smoke. And the outside, the water is going to be darker than the sky. And so I'm just working on getting more and more dark layers onto the piece. And as I mentioned, the cruise ship is masked. And just adding more layers, getting it darker and darker. And using my long skinny brush again to bring a little bit of the dark down into the white areas in the middle. Now I'm adding a little more picket fence in the center and blending it all out. And I think I'm using black soot right now, the darkest color. And I'm going to work and get the water quite a bit darker than the sky. Okay, I removed the horizon mask, and I didn't think that the water was dark enough, so I put the mask back on, and I'm adding more black soot just to get more of a differentiation of the horizon line. Now I'm adding just a little bit of antique linen to add a little bit of yellow to the white. And then I'm using Hickory Smoke to darken the cruise ship and also to darken some regions in the sky. I'm using my little round blending brush to have a little more control over the small areas. And at this point, I am just darkening the cruise ship. Now I'm using a Jelly Roll white gel pen to add some highlights in the water and also some lights in the windows of the cruise ship. Didn't turn out quite as bright as I would have liked. I would have liked to have those windows look like they were shining at night, but they're not. Adding a little bit of orange copic marker and alcohol marker to the lifeboats on the cruise ship. And now I'm going to restamp the cruise ship. And then add a little more white gel pen highlights to the water and the windows of the cruise ship. Now for the highlights in the water, I just mostly added little dots. Now I'm going to spray it with my acrylic coating, and this is the final result, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye!